All right, y'all. This story right here is going to be a little different from the prison stories that I normally tell. Now, before we go on, I need for y'all to hit the like button for me and let me know where y'all from in the comment section. Now, again, like I said, this might be a little different from the prison stories, but trust me, this is going to be a real good one. So, back in 2003, I ended up working with this cable company. And what I was doing there is like just going to people's houses and installing a cable. Most of the work was done outside, running the cord from the pole, connecting the wires, whatever, to the pole, and come inside the house and do a little wiring or whatever. But typically, it would take me maybe an hour to do what I need to do minimum or whatever. And I became really good at that job. So I did it for maybe about 4 or 5 months. And my supervisor came to me and said, "Hey, Dante, we gonna have to let you go." And I'm like, "For what?" He said, "Well, your background came back and you had a felony on there." So I'm like, man, all right, man, whatever. So as I'm, leaving, he stopped me. He like, "Hey, I really don't want to let you go because you're a really good worker. So I'll tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually running a side job and, maybe you can, get on with us." I said, "Okay, what's it about?" He like, "Well, it's something called independent contractors, where you just work directly for me and I pay you under the table, tax free." So I'm like, "And I'm still doing cable?" He said, yeah, you doing cable." I said, "All right, bet. So he said, "I actually got a project coming up in a couple days in Texas where we are rewiring this whole apartment complex, and you can probably make 40 to 50 grand doing this." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, 40, 50 grand, man. It got like 1,000 units or whatever. And you'll be working for the summer and the fall, maybe a little bit of the winter time. But yeah, you can make about 40, 50 grand. So I said, "All right, bet, man. Shoot. All right." Now, at this time, y'all, I didn't have no kids. I didn't have no girlfriend or nothing like that, so I could just leave, right? So, nevertheless, he paid for my ticket to get down there. Now, he's telling me the details. He's telling me, like, this is a new bill. There is people that stay out there. I will have my own apartment or whatever. And, I get a stipend for food and everything will be good. So I said, "All right, bet. I mean, shoot, this all good." So he was like, "So I basically was gonna be living rent free or whatever, and the groceries gonna be delivered, to the apartment or whatever. So I really have no reason to leave. And then when the job is done, that's when I get paid." Now, some people might be like, "Nah, man, I'm not finna go down there and get paid when the job is done. No, you trying to play me." But hey, I got room and board. I'm getting free groceries every other day. And, it's cool. I like to do this type of work. So at best, let's just say he do play me and I don't get paid. Well, I got free room and board and food. So, hey, ain't that like what we all work for anyway? So nevertheless, I get off the airplane and there's this white guy in a suit that's holding up a sign with my name on it. So I go over there and he like, "Dante?" I say, "Yeah." So he's like, "Well, I need to see your ID to make sure you are who you are." So I show him the ID. He said, "All right, come on." So we jump in this blacked out Ford Explorer and we get to driving. And for some reason, I just got really sleepy. Like, I don't know, was it because of the jet lag? I don't know, because the excitement, the anticipation was building up. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but I do know that I just fell asleep. So he ended up waking me up, and we here. So he like, we here. So I'm waking up, I'm looking around, and yeah, it looked really good out here. It's clean. It's about 30 buildings, and it looked really nice. But I noticed I didn't see no people. I didn't see no cars. I didn't see nobody at all. It was like dead silence. So I'm getting my stuff out the car or whatever, and he handed me some keys, and he was like, your apartment is right there. It's on the second floor. And, make sure you fill out your grocery list or whatever, because you get food on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you fill out your grocery list and put it in a slot over there. And that slot right there, just put it in there. I said, okay. And he just drove off. So I'm looking around. I said, okay, whatever. Let me go up in here. So I go in the building, whatever. I go up to the second floor. I see my door number, and I put the key in. I go in there. So I'm looking around. It's a nice 2-bedroom. I'm talking about it's nice, like really nice. So I'm walking around, check out the master bedroom. It's very nice. So I'm like, okay, well, all right, well, cool. So there's a cell phone that's on the counter, on the kitchen counter. And I open it up. Back then, it wasn't like the new phones that we got now. It was, y'all remember them, the phones that Boost Mobile came out, the chirps. Y'all remember those? It was like, well, I can't make the sound effect noise or whatever. But anyway, it was one of them phones. So I'm looking at it, and there's a number on the back. So I call it or whatever. And it's this welcoming voice or whatever. And it's basically a woman voice telling me, like, the job ain't going to start until another month or whatever. All I have to do right now is it was telling me there's a laptop in one of the bedroom closet that I got to get. And it gave me like the password and the username. So when I got on there, I'm looking at it, and it's just telling me that I have to report like my day-to-day log. Like, what did I eat for breakfast? What time did I wake up? What time did I go to sleep? What was the weather like that day? Did I go outside? There's a whole bunch of weird questions. And I guess these questions rotate and change every day. So what I came for the understanding is that, this is what I'm going to be doing for a whole month. So I'm sitting to myself, and I know y'all kind of confused. Like, wait, Dante, I thought you came there to do, a job or, doing cable. I thought so too. But now I quickly realized that they want me to just answer questions about daily living or whatever. But hey, I ain't tripping. So nevertheless, I fill out the grocery slip or whatever, and I put down 2 boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, 2 gallons of 1% milk. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. When I turned 19 years old, I used to drink whole milk. When I turned 19, that shit was out. I don't know what happened. I don't know where my body changed that, but I cannot drink no type of, the only thing I can drink is 1%, and we gonna leave it at that. So, I ordered 2 gallons of 1% milk. I ordered like some pizza rolls. I ordered a pack of hot dogs, some bread, some mustard, some chopped onions, and I believe I ordered like 5 Faygo Ohana lemonades and 2 cases of 24-pack of Dasani water. Matter of fact, let me ask y'all a question right quick. Little quick poll. What's your favorite water? Dasani, Mountain, Ice Mountain. Ugh, Ice Mountain is the worst. Dasani, Ice Mountain. Y'all, let me know in the comments section which food, Fiji. Let me know. Smart Water. Let me know what is your favorite water to drink. Mine's, I'm going with Dasani. All right, put it in the comment section. So I fill out the slip. I get my keys and I head down to the office. So when I go to the office, I try to open the door and it's locked, right? So I'm peeking in, trying to see, like, like what's going on? Like, is anybody in here or whatever? Nope. So nevertheless, I just put the slip in that drop box and I walk off. Now it's hot. It's hot than the I'm talking about it's hot. It's so hot out there that I really believe if I had an egg and I cracked it, I could probably scramble some eggs out there. So I said, oh no, I need to get back under this AC right now. So I bounce up back in the apartment, right? Now it's just so quiet. Now I wasn't expecting nobody to be out there. But the guy did say there's some people that's living out there, but I didn't know where they were staying at. I kind of thought, like, after the past week that I was the only person out there in my apartment building, but it quickly changed after like a week, and it was kind of like clockwork. Now, true enough, I should have known something was off how I got my groceries, okay? But in hindsight, when it first happened, I'm about to tell y'all what happened, how I got my groceries. It was weird because I didn't get no knock at the door or anything. I was sitting in the living room doing a report or whatever. I just woke up really. And I woke up at 8:15 a.m., I'm feeling good, energized or whatever. Just the normal daily reports or whatever, what they so-called paying me to do. But then I get a call on that cell phone, and it's telling me, like, your groceries have been delivered, right? And I open the door or whatever, and my groceries is right there. Everything I asked for, down to the T. So I look out, I hurry up and go to the window to see, because I haven't had no human interaction in a week. You know what I'm saying? So I look out the window to see a car or anything. I didn't hear no car pull up or nothing. The groceries was just there. And I said, okay, whatever. So it hit me. And I know y'all like, wait a minute, what hit you? It hit me that I didn't have my cell phone. I know y'all like, wait a minute, Dante. Wait, you mean? Yeah. I had a cell phone at the airport. Like my phone, my personal phone. And all this time I went past and I just never thought to, where's my phone? Right? Now, true enough, I didn't really talk to my family like that anyway. I didn't have friends. I had a girlfriend, but she was everybody's girlfriend, so I really wasn't pressed to talk to nobody. But it just really hit me when I was just thinking, like, yo, let me call my boss, the dude that gave me the job. Let me call him and see what's going on. And it just hit me, I don't got my fucking cell phone. So I'm like, okay, all right, well, I ain't gonna trip. I'm finna just go around or whatever. So I put the groceries up and I leave out the apartment, right? I go outside, it's hot. When I say it's hot, y'all, I don't even know. It had to have been about 105, 106, hot than a motherfucker, right? That make you just want to go back in the house. But nevertheless, I go across the street and I go in the building. And I get to knocking on doors. Okay, I'm trying to, I ain't talked to no human in a week, right? So I'm knocking on doors to see, is anybody there, right? Nothing. I probably knocked on 400 doors. just listening to see is there TV on, is a radio playing, anything, any type of conversation, nothing. So I'm like, all right. So I leave out of there, go right back in that hot ass sun. Now I'm tired at this time, y'all, because I done have to walk about, like, each building had about 20 doors, 20 over here, 20 on the left side, 20 on the right side, and 5 floors, and they did not have an elevator. So I'm walking these stairs, and I'm tired, so I'm like, you know what, let me go back to my apartment. I go in there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to remember anybody number, because I want to make a call, but shit, I don't remember nobody's number, right? So I'm like, all right, man. So now I'm sitting here, and I hear a noise, like right above me, and the noise was a cat meowing. So I'm like, oh shit, there's a cat here? And I hear a woman like, get off of there. Get off of there right now. Get off of there. So now I hear a woman, an older white woman yelling at a cat. And then I hear some other cat noises. So I'm thinking to myself like, oh, shoot, I got a neighbor that's right over me. All right. So I'm hearing that. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm going to go up there and introduce myself. But then, I started hearing like her like going off snapping, and I'm thinking like, nah, man, this chick probably crazy. I'm just going, man. And she wasn't making, her or the cats wasn't making too much noise, but I could hear her, yelling at the cats through the vent or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna leave her alone, right? So the next day, it was around noon, and I hear her up there again, yelling at the cats or whatever, and saying whatever she trying to feed the cats or whatever. And now I hear on the left side of me of my apartment an argument. So I'm like listening, and it's a husband and wife that I could gather. It's a husband and wife that's arguing, and I really couldn't make out what they were saying, but I could tell by like their tones, it was definitely a disagreement. So I'm like, okay, well, now this place is coming together. It's a little chaotic or whatever, but okay, I'm not alone, right? And then maybe around like 4 o'clock, I hear this baby crying. And I'm pinpointing all these locations at, because, I was in solitude for almost a damn week, So I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, so there's people here. Maybe it was on vacation, or, I was sleeping, maybe I just didn't hear nobody till now, whatever. So now it's all good. I got my sanity. It's all good, right? I fill out my grocery slip list or whatever, and, everything continues as it goes. The same basic routine. Now, this went on for about a month. Y'all. I fill out my slip for the groceries. I do my daily reports on what time I woke up, what was the weather outside, letting them know what, the neighbors was doing or whatever. And, just my daily report. But then something happened. Something strange happened, y'all. You remember when I first told y'all about the cat, the lady upstairs with the cat? Y'all remember that in the beginning? Well, I heard her say damn near verbatim of, get over here and drink this milk. You better not spill anything. Well, I know that's probably kind of typical for somebody to own a cat to say, but the way she said it sounded familiar. And so when she said that, I couldn't really hear what happened after that, but then I heard the meowing noise and stuff, but it all sounded familiar. Right. So I just, wrote on my log what happened. And then I hear an argument. Now, throughout this month of my neighbors to the left of me or whatever, they argue, the husband and wife, like I said. But then I heard something familiar again. And I said, maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe, people argue, and sometimes they could just argue about the same thing. People do that in relationships. But this sounded kind of familiar. So I'm like, hold on. So I said, wait a minute. So then I said, I know I ain't tripping. If I hear a baby cry, then I know something. And then it happened. A baby started crying. The baby that started crying, that I known that cry for the last month or whatever, but it was like clockwork. And I said, hold on, something's strange. So I go back through my notes, and I'm like, why do it feel like this is on repeat? Like this already, like this deja vu. So I said, you know what? Yeah, I need to go talk to my neighbors. I really need to just, get involved, because I ain't seen nobody. I mean, I hear them, but I ain't seen nobody in like a month. Right? So I bounce out and I go next door to where my supposed neighbor, the lady and the man, the husband and wife supposed to be, and I'm banging on the door. Hello, it's your neighbor Dante. No answer. I hear them in there talking, but they not coming to the door. So I knock on the door a little louder, and there's nobody. They not answer. They just steady talking. So I banged on the door like really loud, like boom, boom, boom. So they gon' hear me, but I still hear them in there talking. So my curiosity peaked. So I went around the corner, whatever, where the other neighbor with the baby would be at, and I was knocking on the door. I hear her talking, and I hear the baby crying too or whatever. But she ain't come to the door neither. So I'm like, man, something is up. So I just go upstairs to the cat lady house, and I'm knocking on the door. Now I'm banging on the door. I hear the cats in there meowing and like that, but I don't hear the lady. Now, I was told that if a person pass away, a cat will eat you. You can raise a cat all their life from a kitten, and if you die, a cat will eat you. So, with that thought in my head, I said, you know what? Let me see what's going on. So I boomed the door, kicked the door in, right? Let me tell y'all something. When I kicked that door in, nothing prepared me for what I saw. Or I should say what I didn't see. When I kicked in that door, y'all, there was nothing in there. I walked in the house. Of all the cat noises I was hearing throughout the month, you would have thought it would have been about 10 cats in there. It was bare. Nothing. No furniture. No refrigerator. No TV. No nothing. Absolutely nothing. But a radio. So I go up to the radio, and it's making the cat noises. And just like clockwork, that familiar sound, then the woman started talking. So I'm like, what the heck going on? So I leave out of there. Then I go back downstairs, and I go bang on my neighbor's door with her with the kid. And I kick that door in. And it's the same setup. Nothing at all. But this radio with the baby crying and the woman saying whatever, Like it's on a record. So naturally, I go to the apartment where, my neighbors that was arguing, the husband and wife, and I kicked that door in. And it's the same thing. They arguing. So I'm like, what the is going on? So I go back to my apartment, and I'm trying to get it together. I know it sounds crazy, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I don't. So I'm looking at my report, and I'm really trying to think like, I got to get out of here. I got to go. So I grab me a couple bottled waters, right? And I head outside. It's hot as hell outside, y'all. It got to be at least about 110. About 110 degrees outside. So I'm walking. When I get out the complex, 'cause I never really even walked around the complex at all. But when I started walking and I got behind like the last 8 buildings, it was nothing out there, y'all. It's like they dropped me off in a fucking desert. It's like these buildings, these apartment buildings was just built, and they just set these apartment buildings out in the middle of the desert. I didn't see nothing at all. There's a barren, desolate land. From east, west, north, and south. It was nothing left. Nothing out there. So I go back in the house because it's hot, man. The sun is beating my back in, right? Pause. So I go back in the house and I'm like, man, what the Now I'm thinking like, hold up. I had to get here somehow. And then I thought about it like, wait a minute. I don't even remember coming here. Yeah, I remember getting off the airplane and, with the white guy, but I don't remember even getting here. I don't even remember getting here.